But to be fair, I know Aldo is the architect, but did you really expect both the Angela and the Mathilda?
Nope.
That was a bit of a curveball right there, and I think Aldo will definitely learn from it. On cue right here, double ban.
And that's it. This is the change that we're going to see from game number 1. GEEK and Bigatron opting to swap sides here. Bigatron was second pick, and finally, both of those heroes get banned out, in addition to a respect ban towards a boy, the Paramis, as well. Meanwhile, from the side of GEEK, we do see a Paquito, a Fanny, and a Joy. Still respect, still the same from the side of GEEK. But these picks are coming through because of these choices. Valentina, first pick by GEEK. Bigatron respond with a Rafaela and a Boxia. Do you remember when this was meta? Boxia and Rafaela?
A while ago, but even more recently, it's still coming back into the meta. One of the best synergies here, Boxia and Rafaela, zooming around the map. And Eterna, you might not have heard, but my man, Super Ken mentioned at one point, I think 2 days ago, in an interview, that if they get this Boxia, it's a done deal. Of course, after he said that, they lost 1 game on it. But afterwards, it's been accurate. So it's accurate -1.
I mean, practically it's a 99% win rate, right? With this Boxia here, with Super Ken in the pilot. But it seems like now with Boxia and Rafaela in their comp, they're looking for a mobility game, a mobility composition, right? They have with the Shield Unity. Sure, the X-Borg here brings stability as well here in this composition. Why? Why stability? The slows and the Ice Queen Wands, right? You have the Rafaela with the extra movement speed and the slow against your opposition, but with the X-Borg, it will have more oomph with that Ice Queen Wand.
I agree, and arguably, that's a lot of dive from the side of Bigatron, right? Rafaela, Boxia, you have the X-Borg as well, just, you know, charging at you, and so the automatic response would be disengage. Disengage would definitely be one of their weaknesses right now. And so with the Ruby being taken off the board, it completely makes sense. Signature hero for Beloyski can also go for disengage. I'm thinking maybe Minotaur as well as an option to be banned out.
It's possible, especially, it depends. I think it's a great ban for both teams technically. GEEK Fam seems to have more of an emphasis on that actual traditional team fight where all the AoEs and card controls are available. For Bigatron, I think it's more of the early game strat that we've seen again and again. They want to be all around the map, they want to speed up their own members and slow down the opposition so that they can very reliably catch up and punish them again and again. It's a great formation, but with the Akai in the picture, now I think it's going to be a bit difficult for Bigatron unless they get more damage so they can catch up and then secure the kills fast enough before the heavy spins and the penalty zones. All these ultimates become a big problem for them to deal with.
Damage or anti-CC. But what I mean is, Diggy, does this Rafa Diggy composition mid lane roam will work in this composition here? Going up against a Terizla, a Kai, does Diggy in Bigatron's composition work, you think?
I think it has great value. Of course, we have to see how GEEK Fam wants to run out the composition first, but I think it's a great solution, right? It also works with their strategy right now. If they want to move fast, a Rafaela plus a time journey, that is a speedy full team rush.
Wait, I have a question. This is a Kai jungle, right? There's no way this is a flex pick.
It was flexed in one of the games, by the way.
Against Onyx, with Onyx though.
Onyx put it on Keyboy. It did not really work out that well though.
Okay.
So most likely, I think it is going still in the jungle.
95% yes, jungler Kai.
Because I don't want to go through this draft and suddenly it's not the way we expect it to be. All right?
That's airpunk for you.
True.
Well, let's see, man. 2 more picks. I think if they want to surprise GEEK Fam with the Diggy, they pick a gold laner here. Something with a lot of damage, enough to burn through a Terizla and an Akai. It's gonna be a Lilia instead. Hang on.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? They're going for the early, like you mentioned earlier on, Gani. And so what you need in the early game, you need fast clear. With fast clear comes fast rotations and a little bit more say on those side lanes. And the one thing that I really was wondering, why is Irithel still left open? Literally no one has touched the Irithel yet.
It's like yeah, you're right. It's like a poison here for this game. But another hero that will equip Ice Queen Wand.
Ooh.
So there you go. A
lot
lot
of
of slow effects here in the composition of GEEK.
Let's take a look at the fun fact here. Frontline guard, 6,299,718 is the total damage taken by Luke throughout MPL Season 12. Still ongoing, and makes Luke the number one total damage taken player of the league so far. There you go. A lot of fun facts here from GEEK fam. But here it is. Finally, the Iritel shows up in addition to the Cho.
Okay.
Cho Beloy?
I believe so. I don't see any other way around it. It's gonna be Cho Beloy trying to fight the speed composition with crowd control and potentially pickoffs as well. The real concern though is the lack of damage to really secure someone who was already pinned down with a heavy spin or hit with the Way of the Dragon. With Bigotron picking up the Bruno, I think that's a great lane to have as well. A Bruno Rafaela is gonna be so oppressive to deal with in the gold lane.
That's the thing, right? Because you would automatically think, gold lane, who would win it out? Irito. But that's not keeping into consideration of the supports. Cho and Rafaela, Goni, you're a roamer yourself.
Yep.
What do you think about that matchup?
I gotta be honest, if I'm on a crowd control hero or crowd control tank, going up against a support or a healer type, I don't feel the advantage. So I feel like at the disadvantage of the side here.
I think it really depends on, again, always the execution.
Yeah.
The early game, though, is going to be so difficult, so brutal for GEEK fam to deal with. But if they're able to withstand it, a bit like the previous game, they can get to their items, their power spikes. They really don't have the same kind of tools to kite back, though, so it's going to be a bit more difficult. But I think with the heavy spin, if they use it efficiently in the right moments, it could be a problem, and it's going to stop the engages from Bigotron.
Again, with the composition that they have set, expect a lot of purifiers, especially from side of Bigotron, right? Lilia can rock the purify, Bruno can rock the purify as well. Oh, the amount of crowd controls, but oh my god!
It's the twins!
It's the twins!
It's Matt and Max!
It's Mirko as well in the back, what the heck?
Where?
Hey!
Where's Mirko? Oh, it's the triplets!
The triplets.
The triplets.
Oh man, they made it all the way here to MPL ID to watch their ex-team, man. There you go. Who's that? Oh god.
The number one bias caster.
Number one bias caster.
Especially on the English desk. It's your boy Mirko, and hey! Is that a Mox?
Yeah. Oh man, everyone is coming over to show their support here at the arena. I was surprised to see the twins. We haven't seen them for so long.
Definitely a nostalgic sight to see the twins back. Fortunately not in the land of Dawn for now, but we'll see how they react after, especially during the game. It's gonna be a lot of crazy moments right here looking at the compositions.
It's the GEEK girls in the building as well. And let's see here, game 2. What will both of the teams here bring to the table, right? Can Bigotron? I am leaning towards the composition of Bigotron.
All right, explain.
Again, with their control, with their composition here, Bruno being the sole backliner, I might say Lilia will play aggressively alongside with the 4 members, Rafa, Baksha, Xboard. I feel like they will have more than enough peel to again give space towards Marky to just, well, not Marky in this case, Chive with the on-air Bruno to just deal damage.
I think if you're talking about just directly favor, right, just purely on the drafts, I would favor Bigotron as well. They have good crowd control, they have good wave clear, and the movement that they have the Kaja for the pickoff potential, and they also have damage to really to actually seal the deal with the pickoffs. But the thing is, GEEK fam, they were just up against Onyx, and in the final game of yesterday's match, GEEK fam were essentially destroyed by mobility, and that was a very painful lesson, denying the possibility of them making it as the first representatives for M5. But I think they must have definitely learned their lesson and made improvements. And against Bigotron, this is the worst case scenario.
I think that makes sense. I actually have the same opinion as you guys, but I'll play the other card. I'll play the devil's advocate, right? Sure, Bigotron, they have a very strong composition, like you mentioned, with mobility and so on and so forth. But what happens when this gets dragged into the late game? What happens when Irital starts to come online and GEEK Fam naturally have more tools to work with around neutral objectives as compared to Bigatron, who, in my opinion, are relying on Snowball?
Exactly, that's the whole idea. If GEEK can withstand the pressure, and more importantly, not just withstand the pressure, because they did that against Onyx, withstand the pressure and still ensure that their players have healthy amounts of farm. They can scale properly without being intervened, then that late game, it's almost a sure deal with the amount of crowd control and all the tools they have in the Lord contest, which is so common these days.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, with Bigatron and the early game composition looking for a snowball, and GEEK with more power in the late game, let's welcome you into the Land of Dawn for game number 2. But look at this, Beloyski already getting caught super low. Will he get taken down here? Super Ken, Super Key already opening up the map, opening up vision, and trying to deter him from his naturally aggressive playstyle, and he is able to get away. Now in this early game, first minute, let's take a look at the emblems. Does anything stand out?
Of course, agilities. Usually Onyx does this as well, but Bigatron and GEEK Fam, especially on the core members, they need that speed. Speed is the name of the game right here. It's almost like a race, and GEEK Fam now actually aggressing onto Bigatron with the level advantage.
It will be Bigatron Alpha managing to retreat.
Oof, that was dangerous, man. Level 4 Akai could have really pinned someone down, and no one has ultimates to deal with it. And with Bigatron falling back, uncharacteristically, GEEK Fam are the ones with the control right here in the jungle with the vision and the lane management.
I like how you were talking about running, and they were literally running away from one another. Or like earlier on in that little skirmish, no one was taken down just yet. But now we can expect a little bit more. Oh,
whoa!
look!
Flicker penalty zone now. Well, take a look at the damage though. Beloyski is receiving now very low. Now Sorizo finds an angle to find the first blood, but no, with the flicker. Moreno did not find the hit. Luke quite low. Will be taken now. First blood will fall to the hands of Bigatron Alpha. Sorizo taking the kill as heavy spin pops, and the neutral will fall to the hands of the GEEK Fam. But Bigatron, they want more. Shield Unity, crashing on towards Nile. Last Insanity will find Nile in the process.
And so that's going to be a trade. 2 kills for the price of the turtle. In that particular scenario, who do you think that favors?
I think in a way it favors Bigatron Alpha. It's a bit of an even trade-ish, but when you're the team that needs Snowball, especially in the early game here, getting a few kills in exchange for a bit of an EXP boost for your opponents, I think it's still a value pick, a value situation. Afterwards though, once they really get the ball rolling, once they have, let's say, a 2k goal advantage, they need to stop making these trades and ensure that everything they get is clean and uncontested.
Because you would expect in this scenario, Bigatron Alpha would have a little bit more to say, but yet Nile was still able to get that retribution, to still get that turtle. And so I don't think that's kind of in favor for Bigatron Alpha at this point, right?
That's the effect of the Akai, man. You're just way too difficult to deal with. And everyone from Bigatron were focusing on trying to get the kills first. And this distracting playstyle from Beloyski and the rest, that could be exactly what they need. And now he is taken so low, but he's alive.
One more hit.
Oh! One more hit, man. Now bottom lane, heavy spin. Super again now. Not isolated, as Nile is able to escape from that one. But Talent's prediction by Samsung Galaxy again now. Oh, there's a switch side by myself.
There's a turncoat.
I was swapping between those teams.
Yeah, I think I was as well. It's so close.
Was Bigatron, actually, my prediction.
All right, well, note that down, ladies and gentlemen. Only one GEEK Fam vote on the English desk, but Beloyski.
Yeah, good Jetkundo, good baptism to disengage now. Take a look at the damage that Beloyski is receiving. Not enough to take him down though. So no casualty just yet here as Bigatron Alpha is still up 3-0 kill-wise. Now let's see the second neutral objective. Who will take it? It seems like it will be a 5v5 though.
The glaring difference for me is Nile is already level 7. So this is exactly not what we expected in this early game. That should give them a little bit of an edge, an advantage here.
Yeah, retribution comfortably. But now take a look at the Jetkundo now. Finding Superkin. The damage though will not be enough just yet. Last Insanity to give space, and with the flicker, it will find Baloyski. Penalties on flicker popped as well, as it will find a member, so result for the trade. Now, Chive locked, isolated. Oh, take a look at this. Luke with the kill. Chive has no slide skill. And there you go, that's a marksman taken down.
Wow, Geek fam. They went for the rotate early. They made sure that Luke was in position, and they held on to that penalty zone for so long. Maybe Stevie should have taken a page from Marky's playbook and went for the mana boots, dude, because with mana, he would have gotten out.
That was close. That was very close. A little close to comfort. And with now Geek Fam being in control of the first 5 minutes of the game, they actually have amounted a 1k gold lead. What do Bigatron Alpha do? Because this is not the way that they wanted things to work out at all.
They have to try and wrest control away from Geek Fam because they need to be the ones dictating the tempo. Right now, they're chasing Baloyski. They're trying to find ways to survive, but they're saying so much. Look, okay, fine, they got Baloyski, but what is being done everywhere else? Everyone's pushing. So Riza was part of that engagement, and Luke is already on top pushing as well. They're using a lot of time chasing roam kills when if they use that time to farm, they maybe could be doing better.
Now, they want this now. They will rotate 4 members. Heavy's been popped here to give space. A boy though, if he's not careful, he will be committed. Now, space top side.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. The structure falls.
As Arashi mentioned, right? Geek Fam, they're playing the map really well. They're distracting Bigatron Alpha with several minor details because of how much distraction that Baloyski has been able to put onto the map. This is the oppressive force, the Baloyski effect that we usually see and other teams actually succumb to. So now 2,000 gold lead, so many structures in their hands right now. Nile level 10 ahead of Super Ken. Super Ken 1 level below. This is uncharacteristic of Bigatron Alpha.
Oh, Baloyski finds a kill on towards Super Key. Now it's a 5v4. Moreno pops a flicker, but the damage will come through. Luke finding the kill. Now Lance Insanity popped in the mid lane. Super Ken pinned down. 3 members will be on him. 4 even, and finds the mark.
3-0 trade.
They're corralled right there, right into the penalty zone, right into the heavy spin. You just cannot do that, man. It seems like Bigatron Alpha, they have the right idea, the right intentions, but it's never made during the right time. They come in late. They come in 1 step behind Geek Fam, and that is costly against the superior setup. Now falling behind, they have to try and find a way to make use of their mobility. That is their main advantage. They have to use it, right? Roam around the map during this time where there's no objective that everyone needs to corral together for.
Did Nile steal Super Ken's buff earlier on?
I had to check again, but oh, take a look at the bottom side of the map now. Baloyski, 4 members is on this guy, and the damage will come through. He will be taken out by Shivek. No compensations whatsoever for Geek Fam for now, but it seems like that was a mistake there by Baloy.
Well, you say a mistake, but at the same time, a lot of time has been bought, a lot of skills have been expanded. I still think with the timing though, that may be a mistake, but it's signature Baloyski style. It's only 4 deaths right now. Usually we expect 7.
True. It's not a Baloyski game without more than 2 kills or deaths on his part. So he is the distracting force that is buying Geek Fam a lot of time here. But the one person that I really wanted to highlight is Nile. He has been a force to be reckoned with. People have said that Super Ken is the #2 jungler in this league, but look at this.
Oh, Goodwill Dragon. The damage here will not come through just yet. Heavy spin though will lock Moreno down, but oh, take a look at that. Moreno will fall. Black shoes, no. Up there, now Super Ken dove in under the turret. A boy finds the mega. Top lane though, it will be Shive claiming that structure as the trade.
Is Nile not the monster? What has he been on lately, man? The things that he's able to achieve, the impact that he's made in this game, the confidence that seeps over onto him, even against a game, even against a matchup against Onyx like we saw yesterday. That's what you need. And he's a newcomer, he's a rookie.
The rookie that made the biggest drastic change for the Geek Fam, my apologies. He just was able to make sure that the jungle is just so much more consistent And wow, GEEK Fam is using it so efficiently right here. They're breaking the rules because they know it so well. They're not supposed to be winning in rotations, but with Beloyski wasting time earlier, Goni, and with GEEK Fam setting up the waves, they went for that play when Big Alpha was busy dealing with the other side of the map.
Oh, take a look at this opening now. Super Ken looking for an opening in the backside, but take a look at the Wave Dragon. It will lock Mount Member down. Last Insanity Bomb, and Nile in the backside will bring the team back. One member taken out, key for Luke. Now the damage will come through. Jet Kundo was huge, but he will fall. Shive was caught in that process as well. Now Sorizo caught in that fight. Marky free hitting. It is the super sub, but now he's the solution.
Marky! Where has this Marky been this entire time? This is a 2-4-4 trade in favor of GEEK Fam as they regain control in the 11th minute of the game, taking everything back from themselves, denying Bigatron Alpha of every single opportunity.
Man, a secret weapon. The final solution for GEEK Fam. He's just playing it absolutely amazing right now, being relatively untouched in all of these fights. And that's due to his skill, but also due to the planning of GEEK Fam, exhausting the majority of the spells from Big Alpha for Marky to just walk in, basically on a red carpet, unchallenged, untouched, and Big Alpha, they're stuck right now. GEEK Fam, if they're able to just out-macro Big Alpha earlier, now with the Lord, it's gonna be even worse than before.
We talked about this, right? We talked about the winning conditions of both of these teams. Bigatron Alpha required snowballing. They needed to gain control of that early to mid-game and eventually end it early. With GEEK Fam at 7K now, and they're the ones controlling the tempo, the map, and everything else. This is exactly not what Bigatron Alpha needed at this point. So, at this stage, what do Bigatron do as GEEK Fam, they're knocking on the base?
Super Ken pokes. Baser should be the target here. Sorizo still has a Viraga. It seems like Baser in the bottom lane will be taken out now as the top is quite free. But now Bigatron will defend in time. GEEK Fam with that Lord push, with the first Lord, they were able to find one Baser.
So for now, Big Alpha, the only option they have is to just kite back, use the speed that they have, the holy healing from the Rafaela, and really outmaneuver GEEK Fam. If they can try and initially escape from the penalty zone, hide away from it, heal back, and then come back and use their spells proactively to try and zone Marky away. I think that's the only way this really plays out in favor of Bigatron. GEEK Fam, though, have so many ways to ensure that that will not happen. They can go and start the engage first, they can buy some time with Beloyski yet again, or they can just rely on Marky to just start juking around. Because if you look at the spells from Bigatron Alpha, there's not a lot of real threat that can really shut Marky down. No real crowd control that will seal his fate in the middle of a big team fight.
056 on Beloyski. That's his KDA right now. 056 and no problem whatsoever. Because if we're looking at the kill count, the kill board, sure, Bigatron Alpha has been able to get 8 kills, but look at who it's been on. Luke twice, Beloyski 5, Nile once. So the two core members, the two core damage dealers of GEEK Fam, for the most part, have remained completely untouched. A boy 504, Marky 306.
Look at the gold chart by UBS Gold. GEEK Fam's members are all the way up there, and this is reminiscent of something that Professor KB and Mirko likes to mention, the ATM meta. Keep dying, let the opponents get some kind of bounty, and then collect. I'm not saying GEEK Fam are doing it, but it's kind of playing a bit of a role right here. As look at GEEK Fam now, setting up again for the Lord by waiting on the other side of the map first initially, and then later on running down full speed and taking the Lord, forcing Bigatron Alpha yet again into a very tough situation.
14 minutes and 8,000 gold lead here. It is very, very tough for Bigatron to turn this game around, but perhaps with this fight they look to turn things around. Now a boy, no black shoes caught. But take a look at the coordination. Bang, bang, bang. Super key falls. Shive as well. And that is 2 members from Bigatron Alpha 3, mind you. Taken out. GEEK Fam, they will look for the end. 5 members against Sorizo and Ken. Can they do it? Chorizo, no less insanity. The Raga armor though will be chunked. Now, will he rotate towards the mid minions? But no, the bottom now, jumping in. GEEK Fam have enough resources to end the game. Let's see it. Super Ken waiting, key, 5 seconds, but it seems like the time will not be enough. GEEK Fam secures game 2.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to match points between GEEK Fam and Bigatron Alpha. What a display once again by GEEK Fam.
Bigatron Alpha thought that they were the intelligent ones. They are the ones with machine-like precision. But GEEK Fam once again reminds them that the rulers of the machines are the humans.
What in the world is this match? For the most part, for what we've seen in the regular season, GEEK and Bigatron, I thought this would be a closer game, the closer match. But GEEK Fam, they've been destroying the red robots, destroying the Terminators. This is a Bigatron that was once given the title PH Slayers. And this is what we're seeing. This is the competitive level from GEEK Fam that we're seeing, the improvement from GEEK Fam that we're seeing.
You know what this proves? This proves that Beloyski is now officially an Indonesian. But the PH Slayers are powerless right here. So that's all. We're officially claiming him, technically. But yes, Bigatron, completely powerless, and the Baxia, the early game rotation that they've always had as their main weapon, were just completely destroyed, dismantled by GEEK Fam. Not a single screw left unscrewed.
Man, what a game. I did not expect that fight to be that crucial, to be quite honest.